here is my honest review of Michael Jackson's Cirque du Soleil show in Las Vegas. I literally just watched it and I'm getting out of the theater. You can see the ticket office behind me. And having watched a few Cirque du Soleil shows already, I would say this is probably my favorite. I would rewatch it. There's a few differences between this show and other Cirque du Soleil shows. And this is why I think this one gets one of my highest ratings. I would even put it as a 10 out of 10. Now, all these shows run 1.5 hours, but with this one, they just kill it right out of the gate. Right when the show starts at 7 p.m. or 9:30, if you get the 9:30 slot, boom, they're already off to the races with massive stunts and dance coordination to Michael's music from the get-go. And that's not like other shows. Other shows, like other Cirque du Soleil shows, there's usually like a 10-15 minute grace period as people roll in because they're late. But man, did they come out of the gates swinging. I think they started with like, you know, a few classic songs by Michael, like Smooth Criminal, and like it's mostly like dance numbers, like a massive cast of like expert dancers, and they're just killing it. I mean, this could have been a production or concert by Michael Jackson if he was still alive. There's lights, and I think the one thing they mix in that's different is, since it's Cirque du Soleil, they do some aerial stunts, they do things where they're swinging, they do things where they come down from the ceiling. There's all sorts of things. They had giant trampolines bouncing. They riff through a bunch of songs, including songs from when Michael was young in the Jackson 5, all the way to when he is older. You know, all the big numbers, the big hits you would recognize, from Billie Jean to, Thriller. They're all done. And then it's constantly cycling. So, you know, the costumes are incredible. They had one number where, and I don't want to spoil too much, but I'll give you a couple of them. They had one number where the lights go black and then it starts lighting up and everyone's in like dotted line, like light up costumes that synchronize to the music. They had people moonwalking backwards on the wall, on one of the pillars on either side. It was incredible. It's almost too hard to describe. And of course, you know, you can't film while you're in there. You can't film or take photos, but it is incredible. It's so good that I would come back and re-watch it. I'm so excited that because I just finished it and I was so eager to do a review that I'm doing one now. Highly recommend it. If you ever get the chance to come by Las Vegas or somewhere that's offering the Cirque du Soleil Michael 1 show, absolutely recommend it. It's 1.5 hours of non-stop fun. And when I say non-stop, I mean it. I've seen a few other Cirque du Soleil shows, and one thing you'll see is there's like mini intermissions or mini acts between acts, because they need like 5 minutes to reset. So there's usually like, you know, a smaller act where it's obviously smaller. It's usually one guy doing some, you know, more minor tricks or just having fun, being, you know, doing something small. But with this show, you're not seeing any of that at all. You're actually seeing like number after number. And I think how they do that is because I guess this is much more of a dance number, more than like a Cirque du Soleil circus show like the others. So I think there's a faster ability to reset. I was still shocked because the cast is like, the total amount of people who came out at the end was like probably over 50 people. So they're all in costumes. There's animated numbers. There was even a number that was kind of like a shadow show where people were doing things behind a light and it looked like shadows and things would turn into animals or Michael Jackson himself. They didn't have a number where it was kind of like they were dancing behind a screen, and then the screen was like an optical illusion that looked like Michael Jackson, and they were like dancing behind it, so that like they were dancing with Michael. And it was like a multi-layer screen, so there was like one set of trees and then another set behind and then another. It was incredible. It's like so hard to describe, but it was incredible. The crowd was going crazy. There was a dude behind me that was screaming, yelling, cheering so loud. And then on top of all of that, when we ended, the whole show got a standing ovation. So I think this is unlike any other Cirque du Soleil show. The other Cirque shows I've been to, it's kind of more of like the standard kind of like number where it's somewhat like a clown circus type of thing. You know, there's weird clown characters, there's weird guys with hunchback and like a cane and like, you know, a butler shirt. And it's more of like, you know, a standard wacky circus, but not this one. This was very much themed like Michael Jackson, which with his brand, I think it really kind of married the best of two worlds. I really, frankly, was not a huge fan of the weird clown act stuff, that type of theme. I love the aerial stunts in Cirque du Soleil, but like the clown theme was kind of a bit too bizarre for me. It was fine. I still watched it a lot of Cirque du Soleil shows, but with the Michael Jackson one, you don't have to worry about that. You can literally just watch Michael Jackson themed branded stuff. There's no weird clown characters. It's just, you know, like when like Thriller comes on, it's just a bunch of you know, people dressed in the zombie costumes and stuff that you would see in his music videos. So it was absolutely incredible. And it's not just a dance number. Remember, this is Cirque du Soleil. So while they're doing all these dance numbers, there's all sorts of aerial acrobatics. There's giant trampolines they're bouncing on, giant swings they're swinging on. The set is massive, and there's giant props that constantly change. There's a giant chest that like this like Michael Jackson dancer comes out of. There's these giant, like, I guess you could call them like 3-level scaffolds that they fold into one act and then they move out in the next. And it's so hard to describe. Like, there's so many. Each song obviously changes settings. The costumes change completely, and then different people come in to dance. Different props are going out. They have these like Chinese yo-yo artists flinging light up, arguably glow in the dark. I don't know if they're glow in the dark or light up, but they had like 6 Chinese yo-yo artists flinging these giant yo-yos that like they like swing on these strings in between 2 sticks that they hold, 1 stick in each hand, and they fling them across the stage. And by the way, this is all coordinated with music. So, you know, a lot of this, like the whole thing is done with like music. So like not only do you have to do the aerial acrobatics, but they also have to swing these yo-yos. The people also have to do these, you know, triple backflips, all this crazy like stuff, a lot of flipping, a lot of incredible stuff to music. And then there's even like one stunt where they do like in one of the songs where turns out that they made the floor like somewhat bouncy. It looks solid, but it's somewhat bouncy, which allows them to do really ridiculous tricks, but it looks like they're on a flat floor. And you're like, how is that possible? He just bounced right back up. Oh, if you look closely, the floor is like a little bit bouncy. It's not made of solid wood or anything. It's so hard to describe, but you know, some of it is what you would expect if you were to go to a Michael Jackson concert. But I really do think that if Michael Jackson was here to see this, he would be incredibly impressed. I really think this is one of the best Cirque du Soleil shows. I would watch it again. I'm even considering repurchasing tickets and rewatching it. That's how much I liked it. I highly recommend it. Hopefully this convinced you to watch it. If not, I was so excited about the show that I wanted to share it with you. And if you've seen my other reviews for other Cirque du Soleil shows, you can just tell that this got a different reaction. While I love the others, this, in my opinion, if you are a Michael Jackson fan and you know the songs, it just puts it on a higher level. The dance numbers, the coordinated dances to the music, the costumes, the animations, the video compilations, the lights, the light shows, the lasers, the people flinging down from the ceiling, the people on the floor strapped to the ceiling who fling from the audience to the stage and back. There's all sorts of stuff. It's so hard to describe. I don't want to spoil it all, but I highly recommend it. Get your tickets while you can. I really do think that this is probably the best show out of the multiple Cirque du Soleil shows that I've seen in Vegas. Highly recommend it. Probably the only one that's gotten a standing ovation. Thanks for watching.